Hey everybody, and welcome to the 2022 Adventures with Andi Halloween Mega Venture. All this week we will be making and creating and crafting and painting all kinds of really cool things inspired by our favorite holiday, Halloween. I thought maybe you'd say it this time.
Halloween!
Halloween!
Bye everybody.
No, you can't leave until we're done.
Oh.
Today we're going to be using some ArtResin and we're going to be doing some resin pours in at least some of these silicone. We have a lot of silicone molds. This isn't even all of them. There's a whole box over there with more. But we are going to be doing some resin pours. We've got some colorants and we've even got some glow-in-the-dark powder. That's right. To make these extra spooky cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so why don't y'all move on in and we will get busy with mixing up the resin and deciding which of the molds we actually want to use for this. So these are the molds that Chad and I picked out to pour resins with this year. And we talked about it and we came up with the idea of using these to make a wind chime with.
Mm-hmm. Wind chime, mobile, whatever.
Something like, I mean, it's not going to be a loud wind chime, but I still think it'd be pretty cool. So to start with, I'm going to cut a bunch of lengths of wire like this that we can just put into the molds. And I'm going to have to sort of bend them like this for while we're pouring them. Sit in there until it's cured, and then when it's cured and everything, I could take it and bend it back like this, right? So it's sticking straight up, and then use the mandrels to do a much better job of turning a circle on it than I did just there. That we can then use to tie some monofilament line or chains, because we've got chain, and hang them off of something we haven't decided what yet. So I'm going to start, I guess, with cutting several lengths of this wire. First I'm going to straighten this one back out again. And how many do we need total, Chad?
What, you said 37?
I don't remember. It's been like 10 minutes since I counted them.
47.
37! Awesome! All right, so just let me do that real quick. And this is just 10 gauge copper wire that we found on clearance at Michael's. No sponsorship or anything. I'm not an affiliate. Just we happened to be there one day. I went through their clearance bins and I was like, ooh, jewelry making wire for half off. I'll take that. So Chad, do you know how to make a wind chime?
Nope.
Yeah, me either. I've never made a wind chime. Don't know what I'm doing.
But it's basically hanging things attached to wood.
Yeah. It is going to be an adventure. I don't know what I'm doing. That is generally the theme for most of my ideas. I don't know what I'm doing, but it sounds interesting. I bet I could do it. What's the worst that could happen?
The pumpkin monster comes to life.
Gains sentience, tries to take over the world.
Yep. Yeah, that always happens. I say, why is it the worst that happened when it always happens?
Because it's always the worst. Okay, I've got all of these cut and bent so that they will stick in there. Now, when it comes time to pouring the resin in, obviously we're going to take these out and then we'll stick them in and You can see that some of these are tipping down into the one above it. So what we're going to do with that is we'll just put a craft stick over.
And put it back in.
And put them back in. Right? Like. Et voila! Yeah? Yep.
Yep.
Obviously, we'll be pouring the resin before we put these in. We have some.
You have 45 minutes.
You have 45 minutes to work with this resin. So, okay.
I think we need to keep them separate, like you said.
Yeah, the ones that I cut for the bats and the cat switches and cauldrons need to have shorter ends because they're not as long as the tombstones, which they can have longer ends because they're just one long thing, so they'll fit there. So, okay, so these are the ones for the tombstones, and I'm going to put them over here. These are the ones for everything else, and we're going to put them over here. So we don't mix them up. These are all the colors that we have. Okay, technically we've got these as well that we used last year, but this year we're using resin tint from ArtResin. It's the same company that makes the resin that we're using. And we're hoping that we get less translucent, more solid colors this year. We also have some of Stuart Simple's glow-in-the-dark lit pigments in regular glow-in-the-dark, yellow, pink, and blue. These are neon, so they're fluorescent. These are not, so they aren't.
These three are neons, right?
These three are neons. What about the green?
That one too, yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards the fluorescents, but at the same time, the glow-in-the-darks, we can actually charge to get them to glow. We've got all these that we're going to use, right?
Yep.
Are we going to use all of the glow-in-the-darks?
I was just going to use this one.
That's what I was thinking too. So, go ahead and move that over there as well. And I guess now it's time to start mixing up some resin. Now, the ArtResin is non-toxic and I believe no VOCs.
That's what it says.
No VOCs. So technically we do not need to use respirators when working with it. We will open the garage doors though, so we have good ventilation. Obviously, if you are using ArtResin, you decide what is comfortable for you because you only get one set of eyes, one set of lungs, and you need to decide how much risk you are comfortable with. Always read the manufacturer's instructions for anything that you use and make sure that you use it according to their instructions and safety precautions. The Stuart Simple lit pigments also are non-toxic, and technically we do not need to use a respirator for it according to the manufacturer. However, you know, commercial acid dyes for dyeing yarn also are non-toxic, but we do wear masks when mixing up the dry dye into dye stocks, and we will be using masks when we're using this lit powder as well, because any powder, any particulate that you breathe in, not great for your lungs. You only get one set of lungs, you only get one set of eyes. Protect them. We also have safety goggles that we can use while we're working with this too. So after all that of me saying that we technically don't have to wear respirators, we are putting on our respirators.
I figure we also do the lit first.
Yeah, respirators and goggles, we're putting them on for safety. So we might be muffled while we're wearing these. Apologize for that. And now that we've got the garage doors open, you might be hearing noise from our neighbors. Apologize for that as well, but you know, they're just out there living their best lives.
are we gonna need more craft sticks. All right. Grab a color and start going.
Okay.
Right now, you've got all of this excess leftover resin. Grab a mold.
There you go.
Where is it? Oh. Okay, let's get it on camera. On camera.
We don't want to disturb the metal too much there.
We do not want to disturb the metal too much, but I think we are on camera enough that we can do this. So, how we want to do it?
Put the resin in there, I think.
Okay.
What do you think?
Sure. See if I can paint the eyes at all.
And then come back in 72 hours.
And then come back in 72 hours and do the next layer.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with these two.
Okay.
And just start pouring in, I guess.
Okay. The bottom two.
Yeah.
The two closest to you.
Yeah.
Do you care
huh?
what color?
Nope. I say just pour and mix.
Okay.
Do whatever, right?
Yeah. Make it wild.
Sure, why not?
You're like, let's go wild. Let's go nuts.
Now, technically, ArtResin is only supposed to be poured in 1/8 inch increments.
Yep.
But we have poured thicker before. It's not going to hurt anything. It just, you know, we might get some bubbles.
Take longer to cure.
Take longer to cure. Get dimples and stuff.
All right. It has been the longest 72 hours ever. because I really wanted to get these out and see how they turn out. And I had to wait and it wasn't easy. But now we're ready to unmold them. So, do you want to go first?
Well, okay.
Yeah, I got one that's like that too.
Oh,
that it's like, that's not going off there anywhere. Let's see how your witch looks.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool.
Actually, you can see this bit picked up on her hair and everything.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And now a cauldron, right?
Yeah.
It's very cauldron shaped. And the cat.
And then,
That's the cat, and there's the witch again.
I cannot do mirrors. Here's the witch. And the cauldron.
Now we'll take a look at some of these.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
This turned out nice.
Yeah.
Very crisp detail.
Really nice. I mean, they are turning out nice and crisp and sharp.
And one more of these, and then we'll turn it over to Andi while I just unmold the rest of them. There you go. And these stayed in there very nice.
Oh yeah, they aren't going anywhere. Now there is one thing that we forgot to do, and you might have noticed this when we were pouring.
The cats have it worse, I think.
The cats have it worse.
And the back, yeah, look at the back of the cat.
Yeah, if you notice, we have lots of bubbles because we completely forgot to use our lighter to pop the bubbles after we poured this.
Just too excited.
It hit me like 4 hours later after we finished pouring. And I was like, oh, we forgot to do that. Well, too late now. All right, let me get some of mine out. Now, that stick's gonna come out. This one, not so much. What?
Just fighting with a stick.
Yeah. Ooh,
Oh, that looks nice.
that turned out really nice, y'all. See the little spider on there? I can't wait to see if the spider actually glows in the dark. That's gonna be interesting to see. And can I just take a moment to say how much I love this grass effect I got here on the bottom? I was actually trying to do that to pour it so that it would come up and look like grass growing up under the tombstone, and I think that turned out nice. Would have been better if, you know, it had done that on the front more, but, you know, what you gonna do, right? Live and learn. And yes, I do have a lot of overflow spillage, but I will just get those off easily, no problem. And our next tombstone with the skull and the crossbones. And yeah, these are not getting off the wires at all. Those are staying in really good. And this one. I'll go over here and we'll take a look at some of my bats, and then I'll come back and get the rest of these. Oh my gosh, look at his little glow in the dark face. Oh, that's just gonna be so cute. Check it out, Chad.
He looks so happy.
He's so happy. And it's gonna glow in the dark. And yes, his wire is gonna have him going that way.
He's just flying.
I purposely did them in different ways so they weren't all flying the same way, just for some difference.
That ombre on his wings is nice too.
On this one?
No, the other one.
This one? Yeah. I like this one. Check that out. Oh, I love that color on him, and the way I got it to look like the spines on there with the blue, the green, whichever color that is going down through there. That looks really cool. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I worked hard to get that. Another one with glow in the dark face. Okay, you can see the sparkly on the back from the silver, but it's not as apparent on the front. But that's okay, he's so cute. And he's gonna have a glow in the dark face. This one's a nice purple with blue veining. So now comes the fun part. You have noticed that we are wearing gloves. Mm-hmm. Now we figured that these were gonna have set up all the way through, no problem. Even though they are a little bit thicker than what the ArtResin recommends pouring at. ArtResin recommends pouring at 1/8 of an inch thickness. And then if you're wanting to do thicker than that, either wait till it gets to like a jelly phase, you know, jelly consistency, and then pour some more on, or you let it cure all the way, sand it a little bit, and then pour more on, 1/8 of an inch at a time. We didn't do that with these. So while it's been 72 hours, we have no idea if they've cured all the way through. They seem pretty solid. Yeah. And when we did this last year, we poured some that were really thick and they came out just fine. But I don't think we poured any this thick.
No, we poured those gemstones.
All right, let's peel back and see.
Yeah, it's pumpkin face.
Oh, that just looks so cool. Oh, I know the light's not great for y'all to see it, but that is just awesome. All right, next one. That one also looks really cool.
There's no stopping you.
Yeah. And of course, I've been kicking myself because if I had poured this one instead of this one, we would have 3 different pumpkin heads. And I didn't do that because I didn't think that far ahead. That's okay. It'll be fine. If I want more, we can always mix up more and pour some more. This one's interesting because I figured with the back looking like it does, that this one would be more colorful all the way through. But no, but this here on the front, that's glow in the dark, y'all. That's gonna be interesting.
What you think?
I am very pleased with these. So next step, I need to turn these into rings.
What are you doing, Andi?
Well, I mean, you're the one who's standing there with the drill.
It's a prop.
It's not a prop. Okay, now we need to drill a couple of holes in the top, or top, doesn't matter, of this board to be able to hang it from a chain. And then the holes along the bottom that we're gonna hang the chains with our little resin charms. We're not worrying about measuring this because this is Halloween decor. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's old and decrepit. Having things a little bit off kilter gives it a bit more Halloween character.
So you think right about here for the middle?
Okay, now we're just going to drill 2 outside of that and 2 more outside of that.
Everybody all the way through.
Well, let's take a look. Yes, it appears everything went all the way through. Cool. That was the easy part.
That was?
That was the easy part. Next up, we need to decide exactly how long we want our chains to be that are going to dangle down. This is just jewelry making chain. And if you could grab some of the resin items.
Oh, you want 5?
How many do we have total?
37.
Okay, divide 37 by 5.
7 with a little bit left over.
Okay, so let's grab 8. Do you think this is too long, not long enough? What are you thinking?
I mean, that looks good now, but I guess you have to wait and see when they're hanging off of the chain too, because that can change kind of how they go.
I need to know this just to know for how much chain to cut for each of these pieces.
That looks good to me.
Chains are basically just a series of jump rings, so I'm just going to open this up, and I don't know how well y'all can see because it's very tiny, but open that ring up, and this is off of there. So, I mean, one big question is going to be, do I even have enough of this chain? If I don't, no big deal. We just get other chain. It does not have to be exact. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It adds more interest if it's not.
Yeah, the monsters that put this together, they just worked with what they had, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't be close.
We're going to find out now if I have enough of this chain.
Ripping off the spool.
Yeah, it's
I think you do.
I think I do. In fact,
there's a little bit left
I've
over.
got quite a bit left over. I would say start maybe this far down.
Yeah, that should give you enough for me to get it through and around.
All right, grab yourself a chain. Let's start going. You can just bend this out a little bit. It's soft enough metal to be able to do that. Just open it up like that, bend it sideways, and then just slip this on there, and then squeeze it back closed again. If you need to use the pliers to do that, go for it. And then just every so often, put another one on. Garland.
Complete.
Maybe an adventure for next year. Whoa!
Did it get wound up?
It did. Chad found a pack of nuts and bolts that we got, and they were actually silver, but that does not go with our aesthetic. So he spray painted them black, and I also twisted some just copper wires, and he spray painted that black as well. So we're going to start with putting our chain on the top, right? Mm-hmm. And go ahead and put the bolts through the chain, and it's not going to go through. And it is a very, very snug fit, these bolts are, and the holes that we drilled. So I will get this one started. And of course, putting these in, we're probably going to end up scraping some of the spray paint off. And we've got just some
brush black paint over there that we'll use to touch that up.
Do the other one.
Do the other one now. Yeah, that's gonna hold very sturdy. That's not going anywhere. Next thing we need to do is we need to feed these wires through these holes. Basically, these are just really large jump rings. So of course, as we know, jump rings, you don't pull them open to open them. You go sideways, right? Otherwise, you will never get it back into a circle again.
That helps keep the circle shape.
Okay. And then you just do like that to get them together. Now we're not gonna seal them yet, or squeeze them together, anything yet, because we still have to get the chains on them. Ideally, I would have had steel wire to do this with, and I thought I had steel wire, but apparently I don't.
Next time, right?
Yeah, add it to the list of things I want to get. Or need to get sometime.
So, steel wire, are you good?
Oh, no. There's so many more things to get craft-wise. So many
crafty.
more. Yes, I made more than 5 of these. So I have extras, just in case. And I have much more of the wire that I can use to make more.
Just like being prepared.
You would think I planned ahead. I did not.
We'll say you did. How about that?
All right, so we've got these on. Now we just need to add our chains.
So can you bring me the first chain?
Thank you, sir. And I'm going to go ahead and, just for the sake of security, I want to feed 2 links through. That way, if one of them happens to weaken and give way, there's a second one on that ring to hold it. Theoretically.
Good idea.
Every once in a while I come up with a good idea. And hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just feeding the chain links onto these rings. And then just twist our rings back closed again. Now those are on there, but you can see we need to seal these chains, these links somehow, so things don't fall off.
Are you sure you put that one on there?
I did. I swear I did.
We need to go back and check the footage.
I blame the bats. Especially, well, of course, it's the one where the bat's flying upside down. No wonder it tried to get away. Why don't we go ahead and put a dot of glue on the opening for each of these, right? Please note, Chad's the one doing it because I will get it all over myself and glue myself to this project.
And she likes the project, but not that much.
Exactly. And now, can we turn them and put them into here and put some glue in there as well?
Like
into
that,
the
just down
hole?
in here.
Yeah. Hopefully this will just hold it a little bit more. The other thing we need to do is attach these to this board.
Are you ready for me to start?
I am. Go for it.
Start with this one, I guess.
Okay.
Just gonna use our local amount of glue towards the middle there.
Yeah.
Now this needs to dry.
Yep. Now these just need to dry. Oh, wow, that one seems like it's already drying good.
No, just when it starts to dry, don't wiggle it too much because then you can break what's already started to seal.
Okay. All right. That's Chad's way of telling me, leave it alone, stop touching it.
I can touch these up real quick if you want me to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
This is, I mean, yes, it looks glossy, but it's a matte black when it dries, so it should match everything else. Up and there's the wind.
Yeah, it looks so neat when it blows in the wind. And then look at the ones that glow. It looks pretty amazing. How about you?
I think it turned out really nice.
It's so cool in the dark to see it like this. It's awesome and it glows and I like it.
Yeah, minimal effort, really.
Yeah, compared to a lot of the other stuff that we're doing for this mega venture, this one did not take a whole lot of effort.
Nope.
Comparatively, though, in years past, this would have been our big build. So we are definitely increasing the difficulty level. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed watching us build this fluorescent, glow-in-the-dark, spooky wind chime. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Turn on your notifications because we've got more videos to come in the 2022 Adventures with Andi Halloween Mega Venture. And you don't want to miss them, right? Right. Anyway, you have an amazing evening because as you can see, it is dark outside. And we will see you on our next adventure. Bye, everybody. Say bye, Chad.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.